Shravan Sute Dev Pranamam Mere Priya. Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Vasha. Paditanam Pavanebhya Vaishnavya Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Kamgarati Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripatam Hamande. Shri Gurandana Taranam Paramananda Madhava. Hare Krishna. Very grateful for your presence today. And human life is meant for self-realization. We have, what is it? We have taken birth billions and billions of lifetimes. In one day of Brahma, 14 Manus come and go. Each Manu lives for 43,20,000 years into 71. Compared to that, 70, 80 years is nothing. But we think we take, we think we are this body. This human life is very, very rare. But because of not having proper knowledge or not believing what the knowledge we have acquired, we think we take this human life for granted and the conditioning for granted, actually. Then we have like a spiritual insurance. I mean, you may be thinking, why am this not a spiritual insurance? Every day I get up in the morning and I chant my rounds. Why you say it's spiritual insurance? So, but then you realize, if you are sincere, the conditioning is more. If we are sincere, we should understand the conditioning is more. Ayurveda says if the disease is 20 years, you have to take the medicine 20 years. So in that case, then we have taken birth. Prabhupada says, Brahma's lifespan is 311 trillion 40 billion years. So there are so many, like the bubbles in the Atlantic Ocean, that many Brahmas are there. That many Brahmas came and left. What is this human life of tiny 60, 70 years? So one lecture, Radhana Swami says, there is no reason why one should not be Krishna conscious. Crazy, lazy excuses we should not. Tapodayam putrakayana suddhiya tasmat brahma sokyam anantam. That human life, we obtain that human life automatically. It happens by we evolve it. But because of the absorption, deep absorption, bodily consciousness, I'm this body. Kadam Khan Maharaj says, not Kadam Khan Prabhu, Kadam Khan Maharaj says, when somebody is in bodily absorption, what is the first qualification? Lust. Second qualification, strong desire to enjoy. When the strong desire to enjoy is there, then envy comes. When we get what we want, we become proud. When others get what we want, we become depressed. We become envious. And in between, what the family members do, I love you, I love you, I love you. In the bodily platform. This is the line where Radhana's not mine, actually. So we are cheating ourselves of that eternal, natural Krishna prema that is dormant in our hearts, sometimes by that superficial, external, so-called superficial affection. It puts you on the bodily consciousness. So one has to, not like, one has to be very driven. Tapo divyam putrakayana suddhiya tasmad brahma sokyam. What is the sign that somebody is making progress? Avyartha kalatvam. One doesn't waste time. I'm talking to myself. We should not waste time. But of course, we had today, many of you have so many designations for husband, wife, father, mother, employee, employer. So we have to balance all these things. Beauty lies in balance. It's very, very important. So 11th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, this story comes, the pigeons, which speaks about the, what is that? Affection without Krishna consciousness. If Krishna consciousness, and we should be connected with Krishna in the center. That affection purifies everyone, actually. That affection liberates, actually. Arjuna was very well connected with Abhimanyu, but that affection liberated Abhimanyu, from the material bondage. And of course, Arjuna is an eternal liberated soul. So, but the point I'm making is, one has to be Krishna conscious today. Fight that, cry. The Gaur Maharaj says, cry that you can't cry. Especially while chanting. That heart, when we chant, the tears don't come, it's still. It means my heart is still because I don't cry when I chant. So Gaur Maharaj says, chant, sincerely, and feel sad that you can't, the heart is rock hard. So should I tell the story of the birds, or should I go forward? And you may be thinking, it's Chaitanya Charitamrita Bhagavad class. Why are you suddenly, it's a different turn, because there is a reason which I'll tell at the end. So the answer is, simple thing is, these two birds. Do you know? We think it's a boyfriend girlfriend relationships only in family, in humans. No, definitely not. Even birds, they make friendships. And there is an exchange of gifts. I saw a video. I was shocked, actually. Wow, this is not a monopoly, for humans. It's there everywhere. It is there in practically every species, more or less. Anyway, so what is that? This pigeon, male pigeon, female pigeon, they met, and they made friendships. They got married. Sukadeva Goswami says, in the presence of the female pigeon, male pigeon could not control his senses. And but at the end of every sloka, a couple of slokas, one line comes: time is running out. So they decided to get married. They got married, and they formed a beautiful nest. They called it home, beautiful home, my home. Maybe they purchased, welcome mats, my home mats also. So he would go. They would go and bring a lot of food. So in the evening, they would eat the food together, talk together, enjoy together, not realizing time was running out. Then eventually, and whatever, this actually Sukadeva Goswami says, whatever she wanted, the male pigeon would provide, because end of the day, this is the spouse, not knowing the time is running out. Eventually, one day, the female pigeon broke the news, became pregnant. The father of the male pigeon was so happy. That day onwards, he had to work hard because she could not go out to bring food. But he started taking care. One day they gave, so the female pigeon gave birth to beautiful baby pigeons. They were telling small, so there was no end to the joy of the male pigeon. Wow, so happy. Beautiful home, not knowing the time was running out. One day, the baby pigeon started speaking, "Daddy, daddy, daddy, daddy." Wow, it's a nectar to the ears. Amazing, amazing. Now he had to work very hard because she had to take care of the kids. He had to not only bring food for his wife, but all the kids, the baby birds also. But in that labor, there was so much happiness. As soon as he would land in the nest, so the baby pigeons would say, "Daddy, daddy, 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 daddy." Wow, nectar. Kids and spouse, so much enjoyment, not knowing that time was running out. Eventually, the baby birds grew up, and a little bit, not much. So mother felt, she could go here and there to get the food, and she would train them not to come out of the nest. But what happened? If this goes like this, can I call this a story? Problem has to come, right? They were leading a very, very simple, peaceful, wonderful life. But this world is not simple and wonderful. One day, one hunter saw them. So what he did, he spread the net and threw some grains. So being tempted and not knowing this plan of the nature and destiny, father as usual went out to office, went out to bring food. Mother also, because the babies became a little strong, so she said, "I'll bring little food here and there, you stay. Don't go out." She also went out. But not knowing the nature of this world, these baby pigeons, when they saw the food, they jumped in the net, started eating. Only when they tried to fly back, they realized they were stuck. Then they started crying, "Mommy, mommy, 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 mommy." But no mommy. But the hunter didn't come. And after some time, as usual, mother came, landed. Her heart, froze because there were no children. What happened? Who came? Then she heard the cries, "Mommy, mommy, 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 mommy." And her heart stopped, functioning. Her children were stuck in the net. So because of this blind affection, she did not care, what's going to happen. She jumped in the net, embraced the children, tried to take them out of the net, only to realize that she was stuck in the net too. Hunter did not come because he was waiting for somebody else. Then it was evening almost. The father came, was coming back, got a lot of food that day. So he was actually meditating how he would sit and eat with his kids, how he would spend his time with his wife. But when he landed and in the nest, he didn't hear the cries of the children, babies, receiving him, "Daddy, daddy, daddy." The wife was not waiting. Something was terrible wrong. What happened? But soon he understood they were stuck in the net in the nearby. So because he knew the nature of this world, he did not fall in the net. So she said, as soon as she saw her husband, "Please remove me, bring me out, please, 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 the hero of my life." She said, "I cannot. That is impossible for me." The children, "Daddy, daddy, 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 daddy," what he cannot do anything. But Hunter did not come. So they were actually recollecting all these wonderful things. So at one point, he lost his intelligence. Having been overcome by the emotion, he jumped in the net and embraced his kids and wife. That is when Hunter started walking. thinking about the great meal he is going to have. How with the bodies of this pigeon family. So Ayur Hardivai Sam Udayan Astamchi Yanaso Tasyardi Yatakshanonita Uttama Shloka Varte. Time is running out for everyone. Should try to develop attraction, affection for Krishna, not anything else. We should orchestrate our life in such a way. We sit together every day in the morning and chant the holy name. Tomorrow is actually we are the 4th year. Tomorrow is our date in installation. Date in installation 4 years. I can't even imagine. We are completing 4 years actually. So today actually I want to cancel the class, but first time we are doing Earth Day festival. We need a lot of help. Lord Chaitanya loves those people who try to preach Krishna consciousness. Yare deko tarakaha Krishna upadesh amaragnya guru hoye taro ei desh. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to this world only to deliver people. He not only became a preacher, he not only delivered people when he was here, but he also set an example as a preacher. So my request to all of you, especially people devotees connected to, local to Farmington Hills, I need help from them actually. Since weekends or Friday evening, we have so hopefully some Americans are expected to come. Even if whether they come or not, whoever would come, make them aware of the position of the current situation of planet Earth. It's very important. Taking care of Earth is needed. Then the Saturdays actually we have a Kirtan, 12-hour Kirtan. Sunday also, and we have a balloon festival. Sunday we have a Pushpabhishek to Radha Gopcha and Allava. Malati Prabhu will be there all 3 days, or GVC. But important thing is preaching. If every one of you venture out to meet one person and preach, if every one of you, take time out to go for book distribution and convince one family, by next year our number will be doubled. That one story, I have 6 more minutes. I'll end by 8 o'clock today. Unless we, adopt the process of preaching, we'll become like a minority, hand to mouth. We need one more person, that's scarcity. No, bhakti is very satisfying. Bhakti is that, we can go back to Godhead actually. To serve Krishna, I to surrender service to Krishna. See Krishna, see Radharani. Amazing, right? It's possible. Srila Prabhupada's grace, it's possible. By Lord Chaitanya's grace coming through Srila Prabhupada, we can go back to, we can revive our original constitutional position. Go back to God. So I have a couple of stories where people told them they have attained the stage, bhava stage, and later prema stage also, and they said, we are going back to Godhead, don't worry about us. Wow. So preaching is important. Either book distribution or prasadam distribution, something where you need to convey a message to Krishna sitting in your heart as Paramatma. My Lord, I am sincere. Of course, good sadhana. Lord Chaitanya says, Janma Sarda Kori Karo. Paropakar. So help others. But for that you need to be equipped with knowledge. But you do what you can do. Don't do what you can't do. Everyone, by the whatever karma of the past, we have our own skills in different areas. So we should utilize our skills to bring people to the lotus feet of Krishna. Radha needs to do that. You know? So what is that? External rather than external situation, internal progress is more important. Because after 20 years, everyone forgets what you did, I did, everyone did. Right? There are so many churches in America. No one knew who built it. But the progress that we make in Bhagavad, according to Bhagavad Gita, that is eternal. It comes with us. Yes? Every mantra we hear is an eternal, every mantra we hear, the progress we make is eternal. Every time we do service, we make progress. So the point I'm making is one should have a feeling, my life changed. That my Lord engaged me as an instrument to bring some more people, my brothers and sisters, at your lotus feet. Book distribution is one of the best ways, and prasadam distribution is great. Preaching is also great. Learn how to preach and speak. Make them, give people beats, 2 rounds, 4 rounds, 8 rounds, 16 rounds. But for that, one has to be very strongly equipped. One should have good sadhana. You can't give what you don't have. No? Tomorrow is not in our hands. Today is in our hands. I went to Hyderabad. Somebody said this Prabhu, he was actually bedridden. He would start the second time reading Bhagavatam, but no, that's it. He had a stroke and his health he's alive, of course, severely deteriorated. So today is in our hands, not tomorrow. Be Krishna, let us be Krishna conscious today. Let us be Krishna conscious today. Yes, one should have strong desire. Another nivritti, then I should go to Nishtha, I should go to Ruchi, I should go to Asakti, then Bhava stage, Sthai Bhava and Prema. Bhava stage, your spiritual form is revealed. Your service to Krishna is revealed. Of course, still we can fall down, but Sthai Bhava stage we don't. So, laziness and complacency are the 2 enemies on the path of spiritual life. Complacent, मैं इतना ही कर सकता हूँ. I am happy about it. No, that's wrong. So my request to you, please come and we are present in the temple. Actually, our temple has a problem, because we are very, very beginners. We just 4 years, Kirtan was, actually Hare Krishna means Kirtan, chanting. So, senior devotees are coming. Rampaswami, sometimes he would give classes for 3, 4, 5 days continuously. Every class 3, 4 hours. And devotees would sit and write down, make notes when he would speak. That is Shravanam. Because Shravanam and Kirtan are very important. Kirtan, second one. Indra Prabhu he opened, he started a 24-hour Kirtan. Wow. And he did it till the last day of his life. Radharani told him, all these years you sang for Krishna, now you come and sing for me. That's what he says. He's not Indian by birth, he's an American, New Yorker. But still he went back to God. Wow. But Howard, it didn't happen overnight. He had 2,000 Salagram Silas to worship. He would dress Radha Shyam Sundar. He would chant 128 rounds, apart from leading a 24-hour kirtan. Wow. I heard he sang until, his voice became totally, a wreck. So once it, then Radharani said, just come back. So it is possible. The process works. The process is real. Process works. Anything is not working is our behavior, our problem. It's not the process. Anyway, I'm actually really busy now. Past 2-3 days. My request to all of you, those of you, staying close to temple, can come to temple, come this weekend, come and serve, and meet people, give them prasad. You will make a lot of progress, they will make a lot of progress. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Together, everyone of us will make progress. This is what I want to speak today. And we'll continue Chaitanya Bhagavad next week. I'm sorry for the short class that I could have canceled it, but I wanted to request everyone to be present. Sometimes Kirtan, it's so difficult except for 4 or 5 people who are very determined to finish it. People would come, sing and go. No, that's wrong. On one hand, we speak on very high philosophical ideals. Second thing is the reality is different. Respect, respect, respect. Gratitude for everyone. Excuse me, I'm sorry. What do you say? So, this story I want to tell, Ragaleka Mataji's story. Indrajit Maharaj said. Indrajit Maharaj one time, went to Russia. And this disciple, Maharaj was going, meeting some disciples, finally came to this disciple home. And she had only one room. In that one room, there is nothing. On a table and a small stool, on that clean, what is that? I think Balgopal or Giriraj, I forgot now. But anyway, but there were no positions. She had nothing. So the secretary started telling him what she was about. And Maharaj was looking at his watch. What can he talk with an unmarried lady? Sannyasi. So he had to speak right. Guru Maharaj, thank you for coming. He said, no, I always have time for my, my disciples. So basically, you had to leave in 2-3 minutes anyway. He said, what do you do? She said, Guru Maharaj, 10 years ago, you came and gave me instruction. Book distribution. I'm doing book distribution since then. 10 years. Secretary said, Maharaj, she never stopped. Not even one day she missed. Not even one day she missed. 10 years. Yes, Guru Maharaj, day and night, whether it rains, sun shines, or snow, she just goes and distributes. Wow, really? Amazing. Yes, Guru Maharaj, she would go to red light areas to do book distribution. They were so impressed. The prostitutes were so impressed. They told her, don't come every day, you'll be like us. But she said, no problem. She came across gundas and hooligans, and they told her, we will rape her if you come here regularly, or you try to sell the books to us. We don't want. But she was fearless. She would do book distribution. She had only one sari. Really? Maharaj started crying. And he stopped looking at the watch. And she pulled the drawer and gave him money. Guru Maharaj Dakshin. He counted that time Russian currency fell down, the value fell down. And that time she gave Maharaj $2,000. That's a lot of money, because Russian ruble had no value that time. Means it was a hard labor of years. He said, no, you keep it and come to Vrindavan this Kartik. She said, no, Guru Maharaj, if you take it, all the people who gave this money, they would make a lot of progress. They would get a lot of spiritual benefit. Wow. She hardly had any possessions. Her worship is Krishna Bal Gopal. I think she acquired Giriraj later. She just wants to serve Krishna. She wants to serve devotees. The preaching program that was going on well shut down, but she slowly revived with her behavior. Haribol, amazing. So Indriya Maharaj says, by Prabhupada's mercy, we all became gurus and his disciples. But Tamal Krishna Maharaj says, our disciples are more, some of our disciples are more advanced than us. He says, Tamal Krishna Maharaj says. Indriya Maharaj quotes. So she revived the local center of ISKCON just by her single, what is that? A single endeavor, her attempt. She revived, and there's a Bhakti Ruksha, So this Prabhu, I know this boy, he came to study NYU. And he gave up and joined full time. And one day he distributed 1430 books. For 1,430 books he distributed. Wow. So Krishna reciprocates when we are sincere. Krishna reciprocates when we are sincere. He opened a temple in Atlanta now. And 50% of the people who come to the program are Afro-Americans of Atlanta, not Indians. Amazing, amazing. Wow. That enthusiasm. Bhaktivilas Maharaj gave him the name Mahotsaha. I thought Mahotsava, a festival, but he said no, Mahautsaha. Super enthusiasm to distribute Prabhupada books. So we should do something like that for Prabhupada. Even if failure, that's okay. Krishna consciousness, failure or success, it's only for the pleasure. It all depends on Krishna's pleased or not. Right? Enthusiasm is contagious. Laziness is also contagious. One should not be lazy. One should not hang on with lazy people. One should not, a person who criticizes, a person who, what is it? Complains, yeah. A person who complains has not started Krishna consciousness. Peter Barwa says that. Hare Krishna. And do something. One time, one devotee went to Jayapatak Maharaj and said, when Jayapatak Maharaj, what do you do? I'm a hardware engineer. Jayapatak Maharaj said, can you design a chip? When put in the brains of people, they would chant Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So he wanted people to just give up, nonsense and become Krishna consciousness. Become Krishna conscious. That is what I want to speak today. So one should have the strong drive. If not, hang on with devotees, you have it. But to keep the fire on, at least 10 miles an hour, one should go forward on the path of bhakti. We are not the body, we are not the mind. Mind is there only to give us more trouble, actually, uncontrolled. But if we if we make our life based on the Shastra, based on the teachings of Guru and Krishna, based on the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. Then we eventually come out of the bodily platform. Thank you very much. I'm ending now. You're all invited to attend the Earth Fest and what is that? Brahmotsav, that 18th installation anniversary in the weekend, where we have arranged Kirtan and Balloon Festival on Saturday, Kirtan and Pushpa Abhishek on Sunday. Mother Malte class 12:50 to 1:30. Then the festival Pushpa Abhishek. Slight change actually. Anyway, devotees will send you the updated schedule. So I have to work, so I'll take leave. Spoken anything wrong, do excuse me as your humble servant. Very grateful for your patience. I'm not pronounced.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.